Welcome into a VOD review of a solo queue game I had on my new EOS account, which I'm doing unranked to challenger in. I really want to show you guys this game because I feel like this game, there's a lot of things you can learn by simply watching and having me explaining, and I think it will benefit all of you who are really trying to learn macro and jungle. So check this out. Matchup is Evelynn against Echo, right? I have Diana, I have Yone on mid lane, Sett and Aatrox on top lane, Sivir Seraphine, Senna Elise. I want you to pay attention closely as to how I choose to play my early game here. First of all, let's talk about my runes, okay? I took very specific runes for this match that usually I don't take. These are the normal Evelynn runes, right? Default ones. But I took Deep Ward because I asked the Diana in champ selection if she could already ward raptors, in which she replied yes. Therefore, I took a Deep Ward. It's a very specific, it's something very specific that will not happen in all of your games, but maybe in most of them, you can still make sure to use it. If your mid laner says that he can ward the raptors in champ selection, you can already have differ your runes and make sure that you just use the best runes possible for the matchup. So we can see enemy Elise is spam pinging because they want to invade, and I told the Diana, Diana, come with me. I want to ward his blue, and you can ward raptors later. Now, I had a feeling like they won't stand over here, and even if they do, we can just get out. It's like Echo, Yone. Honestly, their level 1 is not so good, except for the Elise and the Senna with the root, but it's all good, you know? We came over here, we went really fast. I didn't see a way that we didn't, that we die here, and I decided to go for a ward. We're already here, we can see them, so it's all good. And I know that I can clearly go put the ward safely and everything will be fine. Notice how, again, I'm using a deep ward rune, which is very, very crucial. Now, what happens next? We just cover our bot lane, make sure they escape. Sivir has to flash, which is very, very unfortunate. But it's okay, we just secure them and get them out. Obviously, I recall, despite having... Yeah, I'm just making sure that they get out. Despite having deep ward, I still recall for Oracle Lens until level 6. Or at least for the next recall. Why is that? It's because my ward is down. I will not have ward anytime soon. And it's pointless. I might need to play for an early, I don't know, Oracle Lens if Echo invades. Or I don't know. It's better to just take Oracle Lens anyways, level 1, in my opinion. So I recall in here. And I remind Diana that she promised me she will ward raptors. She manages to stop recall, which is decent, I guess, for the wave. But she will go in ward. Now, I want you to understand that everything that happened up until here, it's all irrelevant, right? The trade was irrelevant. I mean, yeah, Sivir flashed, but so what? It's Elise Senna. Honestly, I don't see how they can punish her for not having flash, especially when she has the shield, the Sivir E, and she has a Seraphine. What is very important is how I choose to play. I want you to notice, okay? I wanted to go to my blue side because I thought, you know what? Diana is going to ward raptors, and seeing how I'm going to be on blue side, I don't really think that he will be able to invade my red. Why will he not be able to invade my red? Because I have a Diana in mid lane that can easily shove the wave, and I'm playing with a Sivir Seraphine bot lane that can again easily shove the wave against an Elise that I know for a fact started with her E, because we've seen it over here that she started with the E ability, and with Senna that started again with the root ability because we saw that Sivir flashed because of it. Meaning there is no way my teammates, both of my bot lane and my mid lane, will not have prio early on. Plus, I have a ward over here, knowing if he starts on blue. Meaning, if he starts on blue, there's a 50-50 chance. Again, I don't know how he wants to play. He might go for my raptors, go for my red, or, I don't know, do something. Again, we'll see it. But now that Diana is also warding, I'll be able to know precisely what's the play. So she goes, and the moment she wards, we see Echo, right? Now, the moment I see Echo, I pay attention closely to his movement. Because by his movement, I can already know if he's going to go to his blue or to his red. Now check this out. See how it unfolds. So he does the camp, right? Now after he does the camp, pay attention to his movement. Okay. Now, let's say if he wanted to bait me into thinking he went to his blue but still went to his red, he would have just gotten into the bush. But the moment he went back and then just went again, it's as if he's faking. So, you know what? Why not? Like, I can see that he's going to his blue. And even on my way there, I'll already be like, I'll know if he goes to his blue after I, like if I see him on blue, right? So I tell myself, you know what? Let's wait. Let's see. If I see him on blue, then it's free. If I see him on blue, then I know for a fact I can go to his red and everything will be fine. So let's see what happens. In the meanwhile, of course, I don't want to lose my tempo, so I just do my gromp. Okay, so we do the gromp, and we see Echo over here. Red like a book. Instantly, I go to his red, and I punish him. Nothing he can do. And of course, I'm pinging. I can see that by the ward, I can see that he's already very low HP with his clear, and I can see that he's heading towards the gromp, meaning chances of me getting invaded here are very low. Now, I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what happened with my bot and mid, and how come they didn't get prio. Diana sorta got prio, and she's out trading him, which is really good. But bot laners, to be honest, I have no idea how they didn't get level 2 first, no clue, but it's up to them. I mean, I can understand by watching, but it's irrelevant. Okay, so I go, and I do his red buff, right? Enemy bot laners, they get a kill. My support get a kill, and mid laner get a kill. So overall, very good. Now I go over here. Notice how every time when you're doing Krugs on the enemy jungle, it's very important to watch your own wave state. Why is it important? Because if you see that your wave is over here, then the wave is gonna cross the moment I go for here for the Krugs, meaning it will grant the enemy team vision. So you can either get collapsed on, or the enemy jungle can punish you by entering your jungle, seeing as if, you know, you're over here, so why would I not punish? Okay, so I look at that, I look at my wave state, and I see that it's right over here. So what I do is I just chill, you know? I just chill, I walk around for a bit, you know, nothing to do, just waiting for the Krugs, all good, all good, all good. The moment I see the wave has passed, I go to his Krugs. I instantly smite. Now, over here, this is very important, right? This is crucial. The moment I see Echo on the map, I instantly press tab. I see that he has 13 CS. That 13 CS is the Raptors that we've clearly seen him do, which is 4. The red buff, the blue buff that we've clearly seen him do, so that's 8. And the Gromp that we've seen him do, so that's 12. Maybe he got a ward, maybe Alyss gave him a minion with the support item. I don't know. But at the end of the day, he did 3 camps out of 6. Okay? So we make sure we punish him and we take the Krugs. Now I look at him. It's always very, very important to look at the enemy jungler. If you have a early vision on them, it's very, very important to look at him and always see what buff they're carrying and when did the buff timers start. Because that way you can 100% know where they started, and by the CS amount, you know what camps they did. Because if they started blue side, for instance, 100% started blue side, and they have 12 CS, so they clearly just did their blue side, meaning the red side is up. It's very, very good, so you can keep timers and tabs on the enemy camps. That way you can know when they are and where they are, everywhere. At any given moment, you can know when to ping your laners to go back, and you can ping them from objectives. Like, let's say, I know Echo is going to be bot side when there's a Drake, so I can ping mid bot care, Echo is bot side, might gank you into Drake. It's very, very crucial. At the end of the day, guys, jungling today is in a very different state than what it was a couple of years ago. Jungling today is a lot more about doing what you can with the information you have, okay? And there's a limit to what you can do, meaning I can't go back for my laners. I can't play passive for them if the jungle is nearby. But what I can do is track the enemy jungler and make sure I give them all the information so they will be able to make the best decision possible. Okay? So over here, I do the Krugs. Now I see Echo. He's going back. I don't see him entering my red. Okay? So I know my red is most likely safe because he has the wolves. He wants to go for the wolves. And he's not really going into my jungle. So that's really good. So I get a first recall. Of course, the Dark Seal instantly. Right? Now, another thing that I want to say real quick, I don't really care about the Scuttler. Scuttler is completely irrelevant. I don't play for the Scuttler at all. I'd rather get my camps, I'd rather get the timers up. Now, the moment over here that we see Echo in mid lane, okay, we know that he only did his wolves by the timer, of course, by the CS amount, I mean. He had 13, now he has +4, that's 17. We only saw him in the blue side, and clearly because, you know, I have a timer on his red buffs, on his red side camps, I mean, on the Raptor because I had a ward, and on the red and Krugs because I did it by myself. I know that he didn't do any of the other camps, and he wasn't in my jungle. So they go over here. I don't really, like, you know, care for it too much. I leave my red for now because I don't want to waste my tempo. Why do I not want to waste my tempo, guys? This is very crucial stuff, okay? Why do I not want to waste my tempo? A camp, a default camp, meaning Krugs, Raptors, Wolves, and Gromp. The death timer is 2 minutes and 15 seconds, precisely. The timer for a buff is 5 minutes. That's very, very crucial, guys. Because when you do a certain camp, you always want to make sure that if it's possible, you can contest that camp again and do it the moment it spawns, right? So I know I did the Krugs. Let's see, how long ago was it? Okay, so I've finished the Krugs at let's say 309, okay? 308, right? So take 2 minutes, that's 5 minutes, and take 15 seconds, that's 23. So 5 minutes and 23, Krugs will be up again. Okay, that's very, very important. So if I can be here again, I'll most definitely aim to be there. Especially if, you know, I can. That's very, very important. So we go over here, right? I don't do the red buff for now, because I really want to make sure I have good tempo. So I just do the Raptors. It's all good. I go back to my blue side that I didn't do earlier. Now, I know that that this guy is like, you know, maybe Echo is recalling, maybe he's going to my blue, I don't know. Like, everything could happen, right? But then I see this happening in mid lane, and I know that my Diana doesn't have flash, so I say, you know what, maybe she will need me. Maybe like, you know, something will happen, maybe Echo will come, and she needs like my help to turn the play around. So I go towards her, but she ends up not getting the kill. I see that, and because I followed, I can instantly go and take a ward. By the way, in the recall that I did earlier, I re-swapped for a ward. You remember after I did the Krugs and I had Oracle Lens, I swapped for a ward because I have deep ward and I want to get maximum usage out of that. Normally, without the deep ward rune, I wouldn't recommend swapping back to a ward pre-6, but because I had the deep ward rune and I was already in his jungle, therefore I know the camp timers and I practically live there in terms of knowledge. I have a lot of knowledge on his red side. It's better to just go with the normal wards because I have more knowledge and info that I can get with it than I would normally get with Oracle Lens. So I go over here, estimating that he recalls somewhere around here, and I just instantly go for it. The only reason why I flash is because I don't want him to recall and me not getting the kill, but I end up getting it. So I go over here, and, you know, I'm just checking out his camps to see, I don't know, maybe what's up, because at the end of the day, I don't have timers for them. I only know that he did them. I was thinking, you know, maybe he's recalling, or I don't know what, but then I see that he's ganking my Diana, and he's sitting on 25 CS. Now, I'll remind you guys that he had 17. 17 plus 8 is 25, meaning I know he did 2 camps, right? Now, why am I nonchalant about the situation? Because I know Scuttler is up, and I know he did Scuttler, right? Like, he clearly did Scuttler because we saw him come from River, so there's no chance he didn't. He most definitely did not take my blue buff, because he doesn't have blue buff. I always look at it. What buffs is the enemy jungle carrying? It's very, very important. And we had a timer on his Raptors, so I knew that his Raptors is up. So he probably did Raptors into Scuttler. That's the most reasonable, clear, because if he were to enter my jungle, he would most definitely take my buff, which he didn't because I can see that he doesn't have blue buff. Diana, for some reason, baits him over there, which I don't really understand why. Now I go. I'm trying to close in on him. Okay, now at this moment, Echo is gone. If you look at that, this is a very important moment. I want you guys to understand why. Right now, Echo is pathing topside. Yone is over here. He went back to lane. He's full HP. My Diana is forced to recall. Now, this is a moment where you ask yourself, what am I gaining and what am I losing? If I stay bot side, the only camps I have are Scuttler, which is not even my camp. Therefore, it's not really important for my tempo. And the first Scuttler doesn't even give that much XP. And it's only like 90 gold, which is nice. But it's nothing more than that. And I have my first red buff, which is not even a lot of XP. On my blue side, I have the Wolves and the Gromp, which are tier 2. Why are they tier 2? Because I've already done them when I was level 1. So they are stronger now, and they will give more XP. And I have the buff, meaning I have a lot more to gain over here, and a lot more to lose if Echo takes it. Therefore, what I do over here is I show as if I'm going towards bot side for a second, and then I go back. But then I see a change of events. Echo, for some reason, decides to try and go for the Diana. He knows that Diana doesn't have flash. He has flash, and maybe he will go for her. Okay, I'm actually perfectly fine with that. I see that Echo is level 4. He did not recall yet. Clearly, I'm stronger. I already have 2 stacks in the Dark Seal. And I mean, Diana has enough mana for her full combo if she really, really needs it. You know, if let's say it's a life or death situation and she can't get out, clearly we can skirmish that. So let's see what happens. Echo uses W. He's really locked into Diana. He just completely ignores me, allowing me to get a full chunk of his HP. And Diana makes sure to get out of his stun, popping her W, chunking him as much as possible. And I get the kill because he flashed and used E. He has nothing. Over here, nothing really I can do. Diana already dead to Yone. Just taking a small trade with him because he's already on top of me with the E. The E grants him movement speed, so there's no getting out. And I just go to my blue side just to do a small camp in the meanwhile while the wave is getting shoved as much as, you know, gotta do it as fast as possible. Nice, I go over here, wave is shoved, and there wasn't really much of an option for me to hold the wave for him, for the Diana. It's more of a, you know, just to take some XP and gold for myself while I can, because it's not like Yone wasn't in lane and I could have held it, you know? I couldn't hold the wave here. So it's just like taking some CS until he's back. Now we go over here. Set is clearly losing lane to Aatrox. We can see he's already 0-2 without jungle interference. That's another very important thing, that you really don't want to play on weak side as early Evelynn, and not even as mid-game Evelynn, unless you're really ahead. Okay, so we go over here, and clearly we do the camps, right? Now, it's very important. I always say that when I coach or when I explain on Evelynn. It's very important. Evelynn is already a late game champion, okay? She's not good in the early in terms of 1v1s, and really dependent on the champions. She's a pretty good skirmisher, but nothing more than that. On Evelynn, it's very important that you always play the strongest build that you can. Over here, it's also very important to understand, I have nothing to gain by standing over here. I'm carrying 1400 gold, right? I don't have any camps up on my red side. We're already way past the point of getting Krugs from Echo. Echo already got it, we know by the 28 CS. And my only remaining camps are over here in bot lane. Now, I really don't want to go there on foot now, because I'm carrying a lot of gold. I have 4 Dark Seal stacks that I should really conserve. And I don't know, if I go over here, maybe a play will happen bot, maybe they will need me. I want to make sure that I'm strong, okay? After that, maybe we go to Drake. I really don't like that, okay? So, obviously, I recall. And what I get is the Blasting Wand and the Amp Tome. Clearly, nothing else to do on the map but go to your red side. I go to my red side, and notice how in 7 minutes, that's the first time I take my red. And it's completely fine, because I had great tempo on the map. I did what I could. Over here, we see, if we forward a bit, we see that Diana killed Yone, and Echo appeared on Diana. I see that, I instantly rotate, I use the E for movement speed to finish up the red. And we go over here, I charm, once he eat, it's over, she dies. But we get a kill on Echo, just barely with his W. Just like that. Now over here, I really want to go for Scuttler, because I know the Scuttler hasn't been done yet. I know that by the CS, you know, by the CS Echo has, that he hasn't done the Scuttler just yet. But I see the Elise over here, and I really don't want Elise to see me, because I know his buff timers, right? We know that he did his Raptors early on at 1:30 when the Raptors spawned. He did his Raptors, and then he went straight to his blue. Now, because we had vision on his blue, and I did his red, notice how on the map, both of them has great timers. What does it mean? It means that I have their timers. I know when they will spawn, right? So I'm telling to myself, wait, maybe I can actually look for an invade on his blue. So in the meanwhile, what I'll do is I'll make sure to get my Raptors, so I get level 6, right? So I get level 6, and I wait. Notice how I wait. Maybe Elise will come over here, we don't know. So what I do is I go deeper for a bit in my jungle, and I just wait. Now, in general, this is a tip that I always give players. When you're invading, notice how you always want to path away from the upcoming enemy jungler, okay? It's very, very crucial. What does it mean? It means that, let's say I'm invading Echo early to his blue side, right? And I know that he's on his red buff, for instance, of course, right? And I know that he'll be pathing through here into the wolves. I always want to try and path from the wolf downwards and not inwards. Because if I invade and I start at his blue and Gromp, I find myself later on doing his wolves, which puts me in a much deeper state than I were if I were in his blue. If I finish up my clear at his blue and something happens, maybe bot, maybe mid, they can rotate. But if let's say I'm in his wolf and Echo comes from base, is over the wall, or comes from here, Yone can come pretty easily and quickly, bot laners can come way faster than my bot laners, and it just puts me in a very awkward position. So that about that. Notice how I walk. I see Elise's spiderlings, so I play it slowly. I want to do the scuttler, but I wait, and then I see Elise just place the control ward. I ping it, and there's nothing more for me to do. So what I do over here, I look at the death timer. Echo is already up, right? Because of that Elise, I had to wait for a second. Echo is already up. What I do is I just place a ward over there because we have a deep ward. And if I remember correctly, I place a control ward over here. I make sure I have vision on both of the camps. We see Echo. I just place a control ward over here, even though I see the bot laners, but it's better if I just wait. And I see, let's see, maybe Echo uses his W, which is very likely. Maybe he smites early, and then I can have a free buff and a kill because he's level 5. Okay, so he uses smite, and he uses W. That's free. That's a free buff right there. Nice. I use W for the slow. I know there's nothing that he can do to get out. And I just do his Gromp as well. Completely punished. Now, Yone, nothing really Yone can do. And I see the state on bot lane. Maybe I can go for a gank. I don't know. We will see. But because I know that Echo just died, he has nothing to search for in bot side, right? Because he knows I'll be taking that. And we have timers on his red side. So we go to his red later and we can kill him there. We know for a fact Echo is there. So what I do over here is I see that Yone just TP'd to lane, right? He's 1-3. He only has Berserkers and null magic. Meanwhile, my Diana is a lot stronger. I know that my Diana has ult that she just wasted for some reason. I don't know why. So now it makes the play a bit harder. But maybe we can still go for a play here. So Diana, she fights. I don't know why. I go over here. I charm. And we just kill. After we just kill, the thing I do is I instantly go to his red side. Instantly. It's not even a question. Okay? I go to his red. And I just try to secure whatever I can. Now, I know his Raptors are up. But Echo is most likely on his red. I don't manage to secure the red. But I do manage to chunk him up. Over here, I really want to explain what I'm doing. Micro-wise. As in champion mastery-wise. I go over here. Now, I see, look over here. I look at the map. I see Diana's over here, right? If Echo Path is over here, Diana can just close up on him and it's free. He's dead. Yone is still dead. He doesn't have TP. Nothing they can do. Diana can just close up on him, right? So I go on Echo. I use the charm. Notice how in the last second I rotate towards his shadow because I know he will most likely aim to ult. If he doesn't aim to ult, he dies to Diana. If he ults, he gets charmed. Win-win situation. Instantly charmed and he dies. Now over here, I don't go for Krugs because I don't know what's the state with Aatrox. I wasn't paying attention to map. I was too busy with the fight. I don't go for Krugs because if Aatrox walks up to lane, it's always good to think maybe they're the same. Maybe they both just recalled after he killed him. Maybe they're in the same state. So if my set is over here, it's very much possible that enemy Aatrox will be over here. So what I do is I'm not greedy. I don't want to lose my 10 Dark Seal stacks that I've gained by hard work. I just settle for Raptors. It's all good. So I do Raptors and it's all nice. And then, you know what? I just recall. Why do I recall? I'm carrying 2k gold. I have enough gold to get my Lich Bane. Very, very pointless to try and be greedy. And because of my vision with the deep ward, we saw Echo go over here. And clearly, I know that he did not have his Gromp because I did it. I have the death timer. So I know that Echo has nothing to do on the map. Now, Echo might be bot. He pings. And I instantly rotate. To be honest, I could have, like, that's an int on my part for not pinging in-game and rotating instantly over there. I just really thought that because, you know, Elise is over here, they won't be able to do anything 2v1. But they actually did. They managed to kill my Seraphine here, which is really, really a shame. And, you know, I'm just trying to make sure that I help the Sivir get out by Wing. And I just walk back. I'm not searching for any useless fights that will not get me anywhere. I see that my Diana is over here, and I ping her the ward. I really want her to take care of the ward. And what I do is after she takes care of the ward, you know, we just look for bot laners. I instantly smite, go over here. Really good fight by me and Diana because we are already fed. Notice how in here this is like very, very small stuff. I charm the Elise, right? I instantly charm her, and I try to get in between her and the Diana while grabbing the nearest honey fruit to make sure she doesn't heal, because maybe that will make a difference, I don't know. So I really, really try to keep her alive. I don't manage to because Senna gets the auto kill, the auto attack, and if it was only Elise, we could have actually killed and kept her alive. And well, yeah, over here, because I know Elise just died, what I do over here is I chase the Senna. I get rooted. Now, notice what I do, okay? In League, it's all about the tempo, okay? Now, what does that mean? Diana is dead. She's going to be dead for at least 20 more seconds, and he has a cannon wave, right? He can easily take maybe even 2 plates here because he sees me bot. What I do is I make sure that I kill the Senna, so my Sivir can shove and make the same pressure that he does mid, that she can do bot lane. Even if the Senna is 0-1, and she's not like Aatrox 3-0, I don't save my resource for a play that might never come. It's very, very important that you guys understand that. You never save your resources for a play that will possibly never come. What you do is you play for the equal pressure. I go over here, I flash in. Honestly, ult was a bit of an overkill, but it's my bad. So what I do over here, honestly, I ping. Diana is pinging the Drake. Honestly, I don't mind going for Drake. And Seraphine is going going mid lane, which is really, really good to try and deny him. That's really, really good. At first, I look at mid lane, but then I see he's gone. I place the control over here, and I just start the Drake. Honestly, Echo should go topside. I don't know why he went topside. We will see in a second. I remember that he went bot side. I don't know why he went bot side. Because if he calculated my CS, he could have known, or at least asked Aatrox to check rugs for him. And he has the timers on his Raptors, sorta, because he knows when I kill him. So take 2 minutes and 15 seconds from that. But he decided to go bot side again. I don't care about it. I'm recalling. Okay? I'd much rather get my boots to keep me on the map, you know? When you get this fed on Evelynn, the game is completely at your hands, okay? I see sometimes Evelynn players, they lose the game with this score. It's completely their fault, okay? With Evelynn, once you get to this amount, to this level of being fed, the game is in your hands. Like, you just have to carry it, okay? So over here, let's look at the wave state. Seth is clearly hard losing lane. Diana, hard winning lane. Bot lane, I want to say kind of equal, but it's more of a, like, Sivir-sided. Okay, now I go over here. Diana has, she shoved the wave. And we want to do Void Grubs. The moment we walk into it, we get the vision and the pop-up that Aatrox already did it, which is a damn shame. Now I go over here, and I see his camps are up. What I do is I just walk up over here. I quickly do them. If Echo comes, I am extremely confident that I just kill him. I have 10 stacks, Leech Bane, and everything. Diana is around. Yone is still in wave. She can come faster. And Aatrox, we saw him in lane, so it's all good. It's really, really all good. Now what I do over here is, because of that, I know that the Krugs are up. I just do the Krugs real quick. Now it's very, very important for you guys to look. I'm literally doing what I told you to do. Check this out. We know that Echo was in bot side, right? We know that the only way of him coming is through here to the Raptors, right? I started with the Raptors, I pathed towards the Krugs, and not only that, but I lured the Krugs away towards my escape. This is my escape point. I don't want to escape through here because Echo might be here, Yone is assessed, I'm deep in their jungle, and it's really just plain stupid, you know? I might as well just go over here and escape because they clearly have no idea that I'm here. So to confirm my suspicions, look what happens. We see Echo's Q. For a brief second, we see his Q, so we know that he's here, and I instantly take everything, I level up, and I just go back. Now, Echo is here. Honestly, right here, Aatrox is not full HP, and I press tab. He doesn't have magic resist boots, even though Diana and Evelynn are the carries. He, for some reason, decided to go plated steel cups. I don't know why. The moment I see this, I know I have a free gank. I just know it. Okay? My set has ignite, everything. It's free. I W over here. I force him to ult. I charm. I do some damage. I pop the electrocute. And I just vibe. You know? He doesn't know I'm here, clearly. And I'm just waiting for the right opportunity. Okay? And there it is. The right opportunity has come. He doesn't have his Qs. He doesn't have his ult. He doesn't have anything. And just like that, even though the set is losing, at the end of the day, I don't want Aatrox to be a monster. So it's very, very important that I know when it is possible to gank. A lot of junglers, they say, never play for a weak side, which is true. With Evelynn specifically, because of your ult, if the enemy laner is pretty low on HP, or not even low, but let's say not full HP, maybe with the help of your laner, even though he's behind, you can get them low enough so that your ult executes them. It's not really much of a coin flip if you know when to do it. If you don't know when to do it, it's a coin flip, and I wouldn't recommend doing it. But if you do know when to do it, it's really, really important, because I don't want to get to a point that I'm really, really fed, but I have to force ult on, I don't know, Echo or Yone, and then I'm left without it for Aatrox. You don't want to enable the enemy team. I'm talking like Evelynn tips here, right? You don't want to enable the enemy team to have a champion that forces you to ult for them. Because the moment you do, you might get fucked by the others. Okay? It's nice and all when you can ult by your own free will on who you want to ult. But not when they have an enemy that's so fed that it requires you to ult. Okay, notice the difference. Okay, so over here we go. Nice. Do the scuttler, just farm a bit. The game is already pretty much over here. Once I'm 702, the game is kind of decided. Because I know how to scale well my lead. I recall, I instantly get the Magi, extremely important. I have 10 stacks, I want to stack more, plus the movement speed is always nice. I see what's happening on mid lane. Diana is most likely dead. I don't know why she went back in here, but she got the 1-for-1, so that's nice, I guess. I don't know. I pinged her, like, you know, those were good pings. And over here, I sidestep the E, and I just charm. Free gank, just to make sure that, you know, Elise is off the map. I see that Echo is over here. I know his camps are up on red side because I have vision on them. But I'm just looking over here, like maybe I can do something. Maybe I can force a play. Maybe, I don't know what. I place control ward over here. And I just decide to do his wolves. If he wants to come, he'll come to me. I'll see the vision first. That's why I'm pathing again. Once more, I'm pathing away from the enemy jungler, right? I wait over here to get my passive. And I just wait. I walk up, and once again, I go to his red. Okay, it's very, very important to understand. Look at my tempo, okay? I know Echo will be coming through here. It's obvious. I don't see him on my control ward that I placed, meaning there's only one thing that he could have done, which is recall and go to his red side. I can see my Elise is over there, so clearly she doesn't come to my jungle. And I ping the Diana. Diana is giving me vision, and we see the Echo over here. He waited for me to do his red. He was typing or stunned. I don't know why. The moment I did my combo and he didn't even move, I realized I can just quickly ult without even charming. And that's just it. I don't greed the Krugs because, once again, I don't know where Aatrox is. Okay? I'd much rather just go for the Yone. Diana blocks the ult, and it's just a freebie. I'm already sitting on 22 stacks, and the game is kind of over. Like, the game is just, you know, done, diddly done. I do the Rift. Aatrox kills Set, which is a bummer, but, you know, happens, all good. even though I gave him a lead. And I just quickly want to play on the map, okay? I want to play on the map, which is very important. So I go over here. I see that Echo is doing his Grump because of the vision that I placed. And notice how I just don't give him a break, you know? I don't give him a break, you know? Look at that. I'm not letting him play. Echo can't play the game. It's very, very important. Now, Sivir over here, I don't know why she's so afraid. I want her to take off the towel, which she does. And we just kill Yone as well, which is very nice. I'm already sitting on a fat 25 stacks. And my teammates are over here. Again, I'm just going to go for the play. I have my ult, so it is pointless not to go for it. You just chunk them a bit to a bit lower HP. Now, the thing is with Evelynn, when your ult is up, you kind of always want to go for a play, right? Because check this out. Echo and Yone are dead, so I'm going to have this Drake, which is the only objective on the map. I'm going to have it freely. No one's going to contest with me. I'd much rather just take both of them and just chunk them a bit, so by the help of the Diana and the Sivir and Seraphine, they can just make pressure with Rift. This just forces the enemies to consistently rotate to your actions. It all ends up being a part of what I speak of when I say tempo. When my teammates have to push bot, two of them are dead, the other two, one's really low HP, the other one is a support half HP who can't really do much, and we have a Rift. It forces enemy team to just play around that play, granting me time to do whatever I want around the map. And that's very, very important if you know what to do. So clearly I take the objective. My teammates decide to rotate mid and not play with the Rift. Up to them. I upgrade boots. I get the needlessly large rods. Very nice. I farm a bit towards my towards his red side. I walk up over here and I see that for some reason Echo didn't even go for his camps, like to go and wait there. He just went to top to take the farm. Now I go over here. I'm really trying to understand what Echo is doing. And I don't see him. I'm a bit confused. I won't lie to you. Of what Echo does. Now over here I see Aatrox, and Aatrox is just yeah, let's see what happens. And I just completely obliterate their carry. Excuse me. I completely obliterate their carry, making the game extremely unwinnable for them. Yone ulted to get out, and they have nothing they can do. Atakan is spawning pretty shortly. We have so much vision in their jungle that it's crazy. Look how many wards I've placed. This one, this one, this one. It's crazy. I'm pretty sure I'm the one that placed that one. But like, so many wards, it's crazy. You can see by the deep ward. Over here, I recall before the objective. The reason why I recall is because I have Rabadon. It's a power spike for Eve. Very, very important power spike for Evelynn. Just amplifies your AP. Over here, there's a fight happening on bot, which I'm not really happy that it happens, because without me, maybe the fight, you know, maybe they can throw it somehow, they can lose it. And they almost do, but Aatrox doesn't really play because his teammates are not really playing with him. I just spam ping the Atakan, we do the Atakan. From here on out, again, it's all about knowing how to close a game. Sometimes you see people that are so fed, but they have no idea how to close up the game. And it's very, very important that you know how to close shop. Over here, I see Echo. Where is he? I don't know where he's at. I see them on mid lane. My ult is up. I see that someone, I don't know, attacked Wolf. I'm just finishing it. You know, I just play for myself. I see that Elise is walking up over here. They have no turret. I see that Senna is recalling. I'm looking for a play. I go behind her. I W the Senna. And I just go for the Elise instead. Trying to catch the Senna with the charm. I don't manage to do it. And we just see Echo because of the ward. We see him hopping over here to try and get the Wolf. Clearly he doesn't do it. And again, once again, I'm taking all of his camps. Notice how I path away from him. Away from the Echo. Always away. Always away. Always away. I don't want to give him a slight chance of even coming close to his farm. Over here, this is just a free dive on the Aatrox. We see that the wave is coming. Honestly, just free. We go. Nice. Nice, so I just tank because I can get out with ult and disable the tower shot. It's all nice. I see the Yone over here. Yone can die easily. Nice, so. And he flashes. I just go in. At this point, I'm too fed to not go in. I see that my support is here. And I just ult out. and I get both of them, which is really, really good. Aatrox, Yone, and Echo are dead. They can push top. We see Senna over here. Sivir is holding her. We see actually both of them now. So Sivir is most likely dead. We can just, I don't know, try to do something. There's a Drake coming, so we want to go help the AD carry. Unfortunately, we don't manage to do it in time. We just go straight for the kills while the Diana pushes. So it's just really, really good. I just one-shot the Elise real quick. Yeah, there's nothing she can do. And I'm leaving the Senna for my set for now, because I really want to punish the Echo and take his Gromp. I don't see a reason for me to double chase and waste time chasing when I can just let Set chase, who's really behind, and just force her to come to me. I see that Echo and Aatrox are here, so I just do the Drake first, because fuck the Senna and fuck the Echo. Now I see the Echo is dead. Okay. At the end of the day, you gotta like play for your own spike. Like, you know? Because like I'm not gonna go for a kill who's 3-9 or a 2-2-6 instead of giving my teammates Drake. And over here, they just decided to FF. They see that the game's already open. Their base is open. Look at the scores. Look at how we played. And that's just it. The game is over. 23 minutes. Completely single-handedly carried. Although my mid laner, I have to give credit when it's due. My mid laner played really, really well. Not just in winning lane, but in warding, playing around me. But it's very, very important that you guys understand that Evelynn, in my opinion, below high emerald, low diamond, completely 1v9 champion. If you guys play the champion, it's just free elo. You guys should most definitely follow me on Twitch. I stream every day, educational jungle streams, and I answer your questions and everything. I also do private coaching sessions and whatnot. You have my TikTok, my Instagram pages, my YouTube, and my Patreon. That's gonna be linked. And I hope you guys enjoy. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Peace.